I really felt compelled to make a video because I've just had this come up on my timeline on Facebook. Now, I don't follow many people on Facebook or groups or anything else, but this particular group, I'll just show you. It's the Grand Canal Biodiversity and Cleanup Group, so they're Dublin based. A dead honeybee with the pollen of dandelions in her baskets. She died from weed killer. We do this all the time. How many bumbles have you seen this year? And here it is. I mean, this breaks my heart. And I could weep if I wasn't so damned angry. These pesticides have got to be banned. They just have to be. The pollen on her legs is from dandelions. Her tongue is sticking out due to what killed her. That was on the dandelions. And I'm not even going to read anymore because, you know, I don't need to read anymore. Here we are. You can see her. Anyway, seeing as I have the camera open, I'm going to just take a wee dander outside because, you know, when I come across images like that, I actually need to have a little bit of time out. Time out. I've only just come in and Jack's had a treat, haven't you, darling? Because he's been helping me outside. He's been helping me in the garden. And so I give him a little treat and he was just delighted. He's such a happy boy. And I said to him, Jack, if you could, you would actually physically help. And he looked at me as though to say, yes, I would. Of course I would. So he stays with me all the time in the garden. So, look, I'm going to show you. Because, again, I was up at the recycling centre today. I brought a lot more stuff. In fact, I've just cleared the site now. It's all cleared. Look. Ta-da! It's all gone. I am delighted. Then I also washed my car. Looks like new. Look at it. Looks like new. And I hoovered the inside of it. And I washed it here. I just used the rainwater. You can see the water in the bucket's gone down quite a bit. So, got that done. Cleared the bamboo away from here. Took all that round to one of the compost heaps. Got several compost heaps now on the go. I took, because I've got 4 pillows on my bed. 2 of them were feather pillows and they were quite old. And I watched a program on. I'm not even going to tell you about it except to say I watched a program on how feather duvets and feather pillows were made. Say no more than that. So I thought to myself, I don't really want to be sleeping on this. I don't want to have anything to do with this unnecessary cruelty that mankind seems to indulge in. So anyway, I took them over to the new compost heap. I slit them open and put all the feathers in the compost heap. So, cleared up. Now, I've still got to move the willow over there. I planted the Boston ivy here and had some little seedling, what are they? Stalks? No, I think they're night-scented stock. Put those around. You can just see in there my hair. It's got very long. My hair's got very long. I'll have to get something done about that. Now look, all the flowers and the clematis. Look, it's all budding. There's going to be a fantastic display of flowers. So I'm so delighted about that. There's so much to see now because everything is happening so fast. Even just today, look, you see all the beautiful greening on the field maple. Isn't that lovely? And you can see here I've got two different types of fuchsia, and both of them have come into leaf. So one is a kind of a bronze leaf and one is a lovely green leaf. The flowers are very similar. Got lots of things to plant out. All the seedlings that I sowed, they are ready for planting, so I do need to get those done. I might have some time to do them this evening. Got some more euphorbia coming up here. This is a lovely kind of an orangey red one. And there's a little bit of saxifraga coming up in the stones. There's a yellow tulip over there that's peeping through. Lots of birdies. Birds everywhere. The bird song this morning was just divine. It really was. It was divine. We'll go down through the fairy wood, have a little dander down that way. I was in the farm stores in Boyle last week. I was buying the little tickets in the farm stores that I use to pay for the recycling. You know, you've got to hand over a little ticket, get a little book of tickets for €14. And in front of me was a woman who was about my age. Now, she may have been older. It's hard to tell sometimes with people how old they are. But let's put it this way, she was old enough to know better. And she was buying an enormous container of Roundup. And but I had to bite my tongue. I had to bite my tongue. Because I just wanted to say to her, do you have any idea what this stuff is doing to our earth? Do you have children or grandchildren? This is going to affect them. You know, there was so much I wanted to say and I just had to bite my tongue. I thought, I've no right to approach someone in public like this, you know, and berate them. And I was too angry to kind of think about anything that wasn't confrontational to say, you know. But the garden centres, the shops, the farm stores are full of this stuff. It's terrible. Just seeing the picture there of that bumblebee, you know. Cruel and unnecessary. And with each passing day, you know, I see these images, I hear the stories. I'm painfully aware of what's going on out there in the world. But with each passing day, Bealtaine Cottage seems more and more like an ark for nature. Now, I know that Mary Reynolds has, I think she started this group, you know, an arc for nature or arcs for nature. And it doesn't really matter who come up with the words or who put the words together. I know that I was writing about this years ago, but the general consensus is that gardens should be little arcs for nature. Now look at this beautiful little violet. Look, not gorgeous? Wee violets, wild violets. And wild boys. He thinks I'm going down that way, but I'm not. I'm going to dander on up through this way and just share some of the lovely images with you. The primroses and celandines and the wild carrot. Look at that. Primroses and celandines. There's another little violet. Look. Look. How sweet is that? He's out of breath. Masses of mint coming up. So I'm going to be drying some of the mint to make mint tea. And I have the door closed in the tunnel because every so often I feel like I need to be warmed up. So I come in here and it's deliciously warm and heavily scented. Oh, look. There's a glorious sight. Look at all my beautiful daisies. And here's Aquilegia. It's almost shoulder high now. That's going to be opening up. The flowers grow very tall. So one of the things that I want to talk to you all about next week, not Monday but probably Tuesday, I want to make a video and talking about food supplies, because there has been an inordinate amount of damage done to food stocks and land. So in the form of flooding and drought and fire, all those effects of climate change. And the cumulative effect is that food prices are going to rise, and they're going to rise quite steeply. Now, the majority of people, of course, are not going to listen. They don't really care. They feel immune from everything. They don't believe in climate change, or they listen to their news stations, and because the news stations aren't really reporting much, then they just take it as read that it's not really important, nothing really is happening. But you can take it from me, and I am closely, keenly aware of what's happening, because I've noticed changes here over the years. But I've also, because I don't tune into the mainstream media, I make it my business to research weather events, especially weather events, because the bottom line is that these are going to become seriously damaging economic events. So in fact, the majority of people will not be responding to the needs of Mother Earth, but they'll certainly start responding to their own economic needs. And when food prices start to rise, in fact they are rising already, but I think we're really going to see it hit home this year. When those food prices rise steeply, sharply, and people become painfully aware of them, it's actually going to be too late at that point to do anything, because the harvest season will be over for this year. So what I would be saying to people, and I'm going to think long and hard about this, now not over the weekend because I'm busy, but certainly on Monday, so my Tuesday video will be on these lines, that it's very important to grow as much food as you can this year. Now these beds are going to all be planted out for next week, and there's going to be a lot of planting done. And then preparation for an autumn harvest as well, and preparation for growing food throughout the winter. Essential food, especially greens. Greens are immensely important. So there's a lot of issues that are sort of rising to the fore at the moment that I really want to speak to you about, and make some videos on, and put some self-help videos out there. Because we should all be in a state of preparedness and awareness. Just kind of using weed killers, willy-nilly all over the place. You think, oh, it's just weeds that I'm killing. But in fact, as we've seen from that photograph that I introduced this video with, it is the bee population that we're killing, and the insects, and everything that relies on that food. So there's a lot of issues to be addressed, and I'm going to be trying to address as many of these issues as possible over the course of next week. So we'll start off Monday anyway with a trip to the Bluebell Woods, because I think it's good to start the week off with something, beautiful and something that stays in the mind's eye. And lovely way to start the week. But I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, those 4 days, I'm going to be concentrating on issues that are going to be affecting us. If it affects Mother Earth, it affects us, of course. But, practical. I'm going to be dealing with these issues in practical ways. So, share the news around, and thank you for supporting Bealtaine Cottage. Big thank you to all my patrons, and a big thank you to all of you who have bought books and maps and calendars. And that keeps these videos coming and keeps the blogs coming and the social media platforms. So blessings to you all, and I'll speak with you again on Monday. We'll have a glorious walk in the Bluebell Woods. Have a lovely weekend. Blessings.